when you said about you're talking to somebody else about the sexual abuse issues, and so you had self-sabotage and stuff. I'm really I've been tapping, and I've tried the ball light and stuff. I've been doing good. I've had really good help with my buddies and stuff, and my coach, but that is, I'm really stuck with the fear of letting go of the weight. And it's huge, and it's just I just keep tapping, and I love the limited beliefs thing, because I had no idea I had so many. And so high. So I put the pages in the order of the largest numbers, and like it said that you said about that, if you tap on the major ones, and the little smaller ones would go away or whatever, probably fall out or whatever. So I'm excited to have something to physically say, wow, look at this. It's good to be able to see it. I had no idea I had so many. I mean, I have all these feelings inside, but when you put it on paper, it really makes a big difference. But what do you suggest? I mean, I've one big awareness is I can be honest, and not that I have to go out and on Oprah and air the family's dirty underwear, but I don't have to pretend that stuff didn't happen. I swear, my part of the weight is just keeping it so stuffed inside, because the rest of the family, anyway. So, but I don't know. Well,
one of the things that I'm feeling from you is that there's just a lot of nervous energy coming up. I know what the issues are because we spoke on the first phone call. So make sure, and I already know that you and Taryn are working through, some of those really big wounds that we talked about.
Right.
And it sounds like there's probably more of that coming up to the surface than, you maybe have time to clear. So one of the things that I would recommend doing, and this is a technique that you'll learn later in the program, but just tap through the points. If you can go out to the forest, or if you can get in your car and go park somewhere and you have just like some private time by yourself, tap through the points and just like let all of that nervous energy come out. So if it's, in the form of screaming, like most people kind of need to like scream, or they need to like talk really fast, or it's like, oh my God, I'm so scared of this weight. I don't know who I'm going to be without this extra weight. I don't know. I'm so scared. I'll never get over this weight. I'm never going to get over all these limiting beliefs. There's so many of them. I don't know what to do. And just kind of like let yourself go crazy, but while you're doing it, tap. Because all of it, I can feel from you, needs to happen is the energy just needs to come out of your body. And the only way that it can do that is through you physically, like, releasing it. So tap, scream, yell. If you ever feel frustrated or nervous, that's a sign that you need to release the energy from your body. And that's probably the fastest way to feel calm. And you don't even really have to know what to say, because you're already kind of saying it in your head anyway. It's like when you're spinning on these thoughts and they're just like incessant thoughts over and over and over again, that's a really good sign to do some of that releasing tapping. Sherry, remind me, how much tapping experience do you have?
Well, I learned it a long time ago, but of course I didn't use it.
Okay, but you do other energy modality stuff, right?
Yes.
It's actually not that advanced. It's pretty simple when you think about it. But you know the echo tapping technique that I keep talking about for the emotional eating?
Yes.
You can use that when you feel a negative feeling. So you don't necessarily need to want to eat food. If you just feel bad and you're not sure why, then you can still use the same technique. Okay? So do you know what I mean? So when you push the food away, the way that the technique starts is by pushing the food away and feeling the bad feeling. And then we follow that feeling back in time. But if you're already feeling bad, you don't have to worry about pushing the food away. You can just say, okay, I'm going to follow this feeling back in time. How old am I? How old am I right now? What's going on? And, you can do the same thing. You can follow along to that audio, and you can really release very quickly whatever it is that's causing you anxiety about, releasing the stuff in the program. Does that make sense?
Yes, that sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. And that's why I use the term echo tapping and push the food away technique interchangeably, because you can use it to push the food away, but you can also just use it to manage any negative emotion that you don't really know where it's coming from. So that's why I just love the technique so much, is that you don't have to know what's driving it. You don't have to sit down in front of 300 limiting beliefs and go at them one by one. You can just notice what's happening, notice the bad feeling, follow that bad feeling back in time. Tell me how old you are. Okay, I'm 5 years old. Step into that body. Open your eyes. Take a look around. What are you feeling? And you can just clear all of these echoes for yourself. And, who knows, maybe you'll collapse 5 of those limiting beliefs in one echo tapping session.
Oh, my goodness, yes. That is wonderful. It's like if you get triggered, you can just do it. Just go
exactly.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so anytime you feel triggered, just make sure that you download that audio so that you have it. And anytime you feel triggered at all, you don't even, those are your 2 go-to techniques. So, if you're feeling kind of nervous energy, if it's like, I'm nervous, or frustration, or anything that kind of feels like it's building in your body, use the tapping and screaming or tapping and yelling technique. And then if it's just kind of like a bad feeling and you don't know why, or you're afraid of something, you don't know what it is, that's when you would use the echo tapping technique.
That's perfect. And that helps with like PTSD stuff too, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Perfect. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.